Okay, so let's look at 5.4, the notes for 5.4, which is solving quadratic equations by factoring. So in 5.3, we've learned how to factor. So now, basically, we're just adding two steps. So you're going to set each equation equal to 0 for your first step. And then you're going to factor completely. And then once you've factored it, you're going to set each factor equal to 0, and you're going to solve for the variable. Okay? So I actually started working this out because my video got stopped on me. So to set this equal to 0, we're gonna keep our x squared positive. Okay, so that means we're gonna subtract our x and bring it over here, and subtract our 30 and bring it over. Okay, so that leaves you with x squared minus x minus 30 equals 0. So now we need to factor that. So what are your multiples of 30 that if you add or subtract you get negative 1? Okay, so let's see, we have 30 and 1, we have 15 and 2, we have 10 and 3, 4, so we have 5 and 6, right? So if you add or subtract any of these, so 30 minus 1, 30 plus 1, 15 minus 2, 15 plus 2, 10 minus 3, plus 3. So these, though, if you 6 minus 1 is 5, right? So we could get a 1 from this. So if we needed it to be a negative 1, which of these values would need to be negative? Yes, negative 6 would need to be negative, right? Because negative 6 plus 5 gives you a negative 1. And when you multiply negative 6 times 5, you get negative 30. Okay, so that means it's going to be x plus 5 and x minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, so we just factored it. We can't do anything else. This is as slow as we can get it. So now you're going to have x plus 5 is equal to 0. We're doing the last step, which is set each factor equal to 0 and solve. And now we're going to take our x minus 6 and set it equal to 0. So now we're going to solve this one. You would subtract your 5 from both sides, and you would get x is equal to negative 5. And now you're going to add your 6 to both sides, and you're going to get x is equal to 6. So your solution is going to be 6 and negative 5 is what you're going to write over here on the solution. So because we got x is negative 5 and we got x is 6, so we're going to write them over here. That's your solution. Okay? So that's what you're going to be doing on all of these. All right? So let's look at another one. Let's look at number 3. So the first step, it's already set equal to 0, so we don't have to do that, right? The next step was to factor. So is there anything these have in common? Is there a greatest common factor that you can take out? Yes, there is. They both have an x in common, right? So you're left with x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so x is equal to 0. You set your first factor equal to 0, and now you're going to set x minus 2 equal to 0. So there's nothing to do here. We already know one of our solutions is x is equal to 0. Plus 2 on both sides, and you're going to get x is equal to 2. So your solution to write over here is going to be 0 and 2. Okay. All right, so now let's look